something totally different. So I've escaped to France for the weekend because I've just had a Massey Ferguson delivered, which I believe is a TEA20. I'm pretty sure it is actually. Now I am not a tractor expert, but some middle-aged gene has kicked off inside of me and I've decided I need to have a tractor. So right, I bought this for €500 and the guy delivered it to me. I didn't look at it before I bought it, so I've just popped out to France to have a look at it and try and fix it up. Now I've taken the front off, there you can see the front and the radiator. I bought it as with a seized engine. Now I did try to take the starter motor out there and try and lever, you can see on the teeth there, try to lever on the flywheel with a pry tool, but it's not having anything. So I've taken all the ancillaries off. I'm going to take the head off. Now just taking the rocker cover off, I don't think it's supposed to look like that. So I think what we're going to do is take the head off. We'll have a look what it looks like with the head off. And then I think I'm going to strip all the ancillaries. I think I'm going to have to take the sump off. I haven't quite worked out how to do that yet. But let's have a look. Well, generally it's all together. But yeah, not going's no good for me. It's even got some like deluxe extra seating. Look at that. Must be like a sort of 3-seater version. But I'm sure there's loads of tractor people out there. Not my normal audience. But I'll do a couple of videos on it just for fun. There's some really good videos, so I don't want to tread on the toes of people that do the really good videos, but I'll do my normal sort of novice video, just like how to drive a tractor. No one seems to have gone through that, and I had to ask a few mates how to sort of get the starter and do other bits and pieces. So there we go, got the dynamo, regulator. It's fairly basic really. It's not as scary as I thought it would be, but I don't know how easy it is to get that sump off. It doesn't look too bad from there, does it? Someone's saying something about taking some bars off, but I can't see I need to do that. So there'll be a bit of lighting on the grass. But anyway, it's nice in France. We're stuck away in a little village here. And I'm going to have a little play on the tractor for the weekend. Right, so I've just lifted the cylinder head off. It's all looking a bit gooey in there. The bores don't actually look as rusty as I fear they might be, so I'm going to try and gently, what you can see here is the oil I put on them to try and overnight to try and unseize it. A bit of WD-40 and ATF, the internet seems to say. Interestingly, some cylinders have lost the oil where others have still got it, so that's a bit weird, but it's all looking a bit grim and gruesome in there, so we're going to need a good clean, get some gunk or something and clean it all out. But obviously I'm going to have to drop the sump. Right, the cylinder head, obviously it looked a bit grizzly from the top, and looking at the underside, we've still got some valves open, so clearly that they're not closing, and obviously the cam's not connected, so they should all be springing closed. Head gasket, there is some water in the oil. I'm not sure whether the head gasket's showing any signs of failure in terms of water and oil bridging. It doesn't actually look too bad. And if you look at the one thing you can do on an engine, you see if there's a ridge at the top here. There is a bit of a ridge, but not too bad. So I'm going to try and knock those with a bit of wood. I don't know what other options I got to unseize it right now. Let's have a look. They're all about the same level, so that's quite good actually, because that should mean that the crank is sort of horizontal almost. The little end journal should be horizontal, so I should, by knocking it, I should be able to sort of push it down a bit. So I'll have a see what I can do. Well, I've tried knocking a bit of French oak, I think, knocking the cylinders in turn, and they're not moving. My suspicions are this, it's this one that sees. So I guess if I drop the sump off and take the journals off the crank, then at least I'll be able to knock them up one at a time. At the moment when I'm knocking one, I'm trying to move that one and the other three. So if one of them is seized, I'm putting quite a load on it. So I've given it a go, but I don't want to force it too much. So I think I'm taking the sump off, which I think I've got to do anyway. Judging by the sludge and that in there, I think I'm better off having the sump off, cleaning it all up. But we're not doing too bad. We arrived yesterday afternoon, and we stripped this down yesterday afternoon, As you can see, we're not inside, so I'm limited by the daylight. We got up early and we'll have a go at getting that off now. So we just undid these bolts here on this plate that's on the side of the sump, and that's clearly a some sort of a strainer or something. So we got that, but as you can see, the oil's not really looking a very good colour. We got some water mixing going on. I think I can see some of the red streaks there is some of my automatic transmission fluid must have got past the rings and leaking down. But yeah, we're trying to get that sump off. We've taken a few more bits off the other side just to get it all. Taken the distributor off now and the little filler neck there, just so we can get it all nice and clean. I'm contemplating whether to take the front timing chain cover off. I've got it cleaned up a bit more now. Got the dynamo off. I'm wondering with the state of the oil, but I'm best just getting everything off, cleaning it all up nicely, painting it and putting it back together. We don't know where the water's coming from, so I'll clean up here, see if we've got a cracked head. The block looks okay, but that's where we're getting to, so I've got to get that sump off now. Well, we're making good progress. We've got the sump off. It looks pretty grisly in there, but what I did do is I took the oil filter housing off, or the oil filter. I'm struggling to get the housing off. And the oil in there was nice and sort of greeny, bluey colour, no emulsification. So I think somehow the water's leaked in and got into the engine, but I don't think it was run with water. I think it's more storage related. Let's hope so. So now I'm going to have a look underneath. So let's have a look at the sump. Let's have a little poke around in there. Oh, that is grisly. That has got some pretty bad porridge going on in there. Look at that. Oh, so I think it was worth taking the sump off. Right. What else? Let's have a look under. I haven't even had a look up underneath yet. Let's see if we can have a little look up underneath and see what. There you go. Can't really see the camera very well, but I'll have a little poke around in there now. I'll get on my back and let's try loosening some of the big ends off and see if I can start to push a piston up or down, whichever way it wants to go, and see which one of these pistons was the offending item, and then we can take all this back to the UK, clean it all up, paint it up, and then when I come back out to France next, I can put it all together. Next stage in the saga, I've managed to wiggle the flywheel. I've got two bottom ends off, but because of the way the nuts are on the bottom end, the big end, they're facing away from me, so I can't get to these middle two. These end two pistons are loose now, and they were actually going up and down fine in the bore. But now what I'm doing is I'm wiggling the flywheel, and I can wiggle it just a little bit, and this piston I can feel moving just a little bit up and down as I wiggle the flywheel. This one here is dead solid, so he's the one I'm getting a problem with. And I've devised my own little piston knocking tool, carbon neutral, and I'm going to give that a few taps down now and see if that will go. Again, I'm lucky because all the pistons are level, so it will just, as it pushed down, it should just rotate the crank.